I've been making WWE and wrestling content since December of 2022, and it has been a roller coaster. And in today's video, I'm going to go over what helped me out as a content creator, what didn't work, and some tips for you guys if you're trying to get into content creation. And before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way you get some of the best wrestling content out there. We do a lot of things such as predictions, unboxings, reviews, and just talking about current events in general on every social media platform you could think of. Okay, so you watch wrestling, you love wrestling, and you're trying to get into the content creation side of it. Let's talk about how that works. Also, while watching this, please understand that everybody's different, and what may work for one person may not work for another person. Everybody's personality is different, and this is just a general consensus of how people should go about with content creation, whether it's wrestling, food, traveling, whatever you're trying to get into, as well as some advice that you guys could use to start your content creation career. And this was all based on personal experience, so take this with a grain of salt. So what made me start getting into content creation? So originally I was streaming on Twitch. I was a Fortnite streamer, and I even do WWE 2K24 streams to this day. But honestly, as a variety streamer doing a lot of Fortnite and Call of Duty and all that, I felt like I wasn't going anywhere, and I felt like I was just kind of blending in with everybody trying to do the same exact thing. And if you guys are Twitch streamers, you know that the space is very saturated. And I've loved wrestling for a long time. I've been watching it since I was 12 years old. I watched it with my dad. We still do sometimes to this day. And it's just a fun thing to watch because it's just been something that's been ingrained in my head forever. So I decided to just experiment and make a wrestling funny TikTok. And somehow it got the most views I ever got on any of my TikTok videos. And I was just like, wait a minute, we might be onto something here. I made videos such as when you're the #1 entry in the Royal Rumble, when you got the job at WWE and you're now facing The Undertaker, how I thought that wrestlers sang their own theme songs. There were so many ideas that I just had ready to make for you guys, and you guys delivered, and we were able to go so viral so many times. And at this point, I knew I had to rebrand myself from a regular Fortnite shooting gaming streamer to a WWE content creator. But the only downside was I felt like if I were to rebrand, I felt like I was going to lose a lot of my audience. Now, wrestling is a very unique niche. It's not something that everybody watches or likes. People will always relate to it by saying I used to watch it as a kid, or I watched Stone Cold watch it all the time, but a lot of people don't really watch it now. So one of the keys I will tell you is if you are trying to get into the streaming space with wrestling, find a way to incorporate everybody that follows you, whether or not they watch wrestling. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I played WWE 2K24, and the way I did it was I made my followers as characters in what is called an E-Fed. I'm sure you know what an E-Fed is with WWE 2K24. You make your followers as characters, they fight it out for championships, and it just brings them all in and includes everybody so everybody can have a fun time. They may not watch wrestling, but they may look forward to JLD having them fight it out in matches and kick each other's asses, and it makes the chat fun and everybody just trolls each other. But I really was scared I was going to lose them. But in reality, when it comes to streaming, your personality is what keeps everybody in, and the game, and whether it's wrestling or Dead by Daylight, that keeps them in just a little bit, but your personality is what keeps people in. Also, on top of this, I do a lot of wrestling themed overlays. I do a lot of commands with sound alerts relating to WWE. I also do a lot of overlay commands where people can do an RKO on somebody and their profile pic comes up with Randy Orton giving them a nice good old RKO out of nowhere. Stuff like boos and cheers and acknowledge me and mommy's always on top and sound alerts like that. People may not understand what they are, but they're eventually going to catch on when you play it all the time. But anyway, that's just the streaming part of it. I don't stream as much as I used to. I got more into the content creation side of things with social media, but that's what helped me out in the Twitch space. So going back into content creation, why you? There are so many people making WWE content right now. WWE is so mainstream. It has become so much popular since the pandemic happened. So why should people watch you? Do you have a persona? Do you have a way of telling a story? Do you have the breaking news almost immediately? Why should people follow you outside of the other many different content creators out there in the WWE space? As you improve on your brand, think about those things. Is there something you do unique? Is there certain videos that are going viral? Are there certain videos that get the most engagement? What is it about you that makes you unique? For example, I like to call myself the Viewers Champion, which is a play on The Rock's People Champion. When I'm live on Twitch or I'm live on TikTok, those are my viewers. Even though I could call them the People's Champion, they are my viewers. So I just called it the Viewers Champion ever since then. That's what everybody acknowledges me as, because I like to say acknowledge me a lot. Another thing you want to go over is what kind of wrestling content do you want to make? Do you want to have something specific that you're doing, such as journalism or reactions or general current news going down? Or do you want to dabble in everything? People do all sorts of different things in the wrestling space. People collect action figures, people collect belts, people react to streams, people make their own funny comedy skits skits and memes as well. And there's been a rise in the many wrestling podcasts that are out there. Everybody's making a wrestling podcast now. Check out the Laying It Down podcast on YouTube. And there's no minimum or maximum amount of things you could go over. You could be a general content creator that goes into everything, or if there's something specific, then go ahead and go and do it. At the end of the day, as long as people are engaging with your content, that's the goal. I would just say make sure you're very consistent with it and try not to take too long of a break, because social media has a very short attention span to things. And it's okay to transition to other things as well in the wrestling space. As long as your audience loves it and is interested in it, they will keep coming back. So in this next section, I'm going to go over what helped me out in making wrestling content to what it is today. Now, I have a lot that I still need to grow on. I still don't think I'm a massive content creator like some of the big ones out there, but it's okay. People grow at certain rates and different speeds. So one of the first things you got to make sure, and this is for any kind of niche that you're in, I don't care if you're doing wrestling content, if you're traveling, if you're talking about pets or babies or whatever your content is related to, you need to be fully invested in it. And that goes into pro wrestling as well. If you are not a fan of wrestling, if you are somebody that just casually watches wrestling maybe once a month or something like that, you probably want to do a little more research on everything you're doing and just engulf yourself in so much wrestling. Not too much where you're tired, but enough where you can enjoy it and you feel comfortable talking about it in a camera like I am right now. When you fully understand what's going on in the wrestling world, that allows you to make your videos and feel confident in your videos. You can report on it and just make whatever content you like, even make funny stuff. I've taken many breaks when going back into wrestling, and in the most recent break I had to basically relearn everything. I had to learn who Gunther was, the Street Profits. I even realized that there was a new Intercontinental title. And since I've taken breaks in the past and I just have this passionate love for wrestling, it was easy for me to get back into it. So it's not like I have to like write down everything and study like it's a test. I just keep watching week after week. And that's the great thing about wrestling. There is never a finished product. So even if you take a break, just keep watching for a few weeks to a month and you'll get back into it and know what the storylines are. Also, I have a YouTube video out right now where I go over the current storylines as of July of this year. Obviously, this is a much later video from that, so things might have changed. It is definitely a great stepping stone if you're trying to get back into wrestling or learn wrestling for the first time. So make sure you check that out as you subscribe to this channel. And then from a task management perspective, I try to write everything down, whether it's on a whiteboard that I have next to me or on my phone on Google Tasks or just on a notepad or whatever. I make sure to write down everything. Any idea that I have, whether it's silly or it's serious or it's a reaction, I make sure to write it down and get the video done. I also have a major support system. Mrs. JLD has been a huge support of what we do here on the channel. She's loved what she does. She loves watching our content. Even my parents even support us on our journey here because they know I've watched wrestling for a long time. So they're happy that I do something that I actually love to do and cover stuff that I like to watch. And shout out to my Twitch community and my TikTok community. You guys have been absolutely amazing on this journey and I wouldn't have been able to do it without you guys. So thank you. I've had so many different people come to me saying that they got back into wrestling because of my videos or just started watching wrestling for the first time because it was so interesting. And I feel like mainstream media has helped to, I guess, allow people to want to watch wrestling again rather than that stigma that, oh, wrestling is fake. But it's still nice to see that they go to you for their information. Another thing that helps me out is just getting involved with other creators. Get to know other wrestling content creators out there. This is not a competition and you should never see it as a competition. Competition in terms of wrestling content creation just alienates yourself outside of the people that just want to succeed. You'll never know who you'll meet. It could be your next best friend. It could be the person that actually lifts you up into maybe even working with WWE. You never know. And that's how you become very well known, is just networking with other content creators and making unique content alongside with them, or you just get noticed by them. I've been grateful to meet so many different people and interview on the Laying It Down podcast. We are coming up on episode 9 as of today. So I'm very grateful that I get to sit down with people and actually pick their brain in wrestling and see their brands grow as well. And just in general, my personality has allowed me to feel more okay with reaching out to people that I originally wouldn't, because I just felt so intimidated, because I would feel like reaching out to a bigger creator just wouldn't work out and they'd see me as a little person. But that's not the case, actually. I try to be very quick when I'm reporting wrestling news. As soon as something crazy happens, whether it's SummerSlam or WrestleMania, I'm either making a video on it, taking a picture of it, or something's on the WWE shop, I make sure to post about it and just be one of the first people that people look at for your news or information or pictures or funny posts, and you will be known. You will be known for that. A lot of people like to say that I'm everywhere. They open up TikTok and I'm on their For You page. They go to Instagram, I'm right there with a funny video or an informational video. And make sure to let your community know that there are many different ways that they can support without ever paying a dime. Make sure you let them know to like your content, share it, repost it, let people know about it, let them know when you're going live. There's so many things you could do to get your community not just to know about what you're doing, but also to grow and get new followers and people that want to get to know you also. And then finally, the last thing that helps me out in this wrestling content journey is I try to have fun with this content creation journey, whether it's going to shows, whether it's making funny videos and laughing at them. Have fun with it, because if you're just making wrestling content just because you think it's a cool niche and you're just trying to make money on it, you're gonna have a miserable time. You need to be fully invested. You need to love wrestling. Make sure you're having fun, otherwise it's just not gonna be good. And when you have fun, it motivates you to want to make more content, make more videos, whether it's YouTube or a vlog or a TikTok. You're gonna want to do more, and it actually gets your creative ideas going even more because you're hungry for that desire to succeed. And if you guys have any questions about anything I'm going over, feel free to post down in the comments and I will make sure to answer whoever I can. Maybe I'll make a response video and go over comments with questions in them. So for the things that did not help me, I only wrote 3 things down for this, and the major important one is don't try to do 1,000 things at one time. For example, I also stream on Twitch, as you guys probably heard me 5,000 times already earlier in this video. I had to take a break from it because shifting over to content creation is a very serious thing when it comes to time management and dealing with personal life. So you want to make sure you can juggle all that great. And I felt like trying to put Twitch into it and YouTube streaming and making matches 24/7 for my eFed, the JLD universe, it was just a little too much where I had to just remove stuff that I just didn't feel like was going as far as I should be. Just make sure you can do as much as you can handle, but don't go overboard. Because you can only imagine the Laying It Down podcast, Twitch streaming, TikTok streaming, daily TikToks. It's a lot. And prediction videos on YouTube. My day is pretty busy. So understand that it's okay if you got to drop certain things and get rid of some stuff, even if it's just temporary. And once you understand your limits, you'll be able to do whatever you want. The second thing is looking at your follower count. Followers don't matter. There's people with 1,000 followers that have a bigger community than those with 10,000 followers. So please understand that. And please, for the love of God, do not compare other people's success to others. Just because somebody is doing well, got 100,000 followers and is celebrating it, that doesn't mean you are a bad creator because you are not there yet. Also, please understand as well that you do not know what they're going through behind the scenes. Just because they have 1 million followers and they seem like they're getting all the views and engagement and making all the money in the world, they may be miserable behind the scenes, and you may have a better, happy lifestyle that they wish they had. So count your blessings. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Keep doing things at your own pace and eventually it will get noticed. There's people that are overnight successes and they quickly go away once all the hype is over. But for the people that are consistent, nonstop, even for years, they're the ones that eventually are going to win at the finish line. Now that I went over the stuff that did not help me, I want to go over what you guys should expect if you want to go into the wrestling space, especially for content creation. Number one, you are not the only one making wrestling content. You are not the only one covering a lot of the current news. Everybody's covering the same news from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, New Japan, PLE's going down. So you got to make sure you put your content in a very unique spin. A lot of people have gotten into professional wrestling because of the fact that it's now mainstream. WrestleMania has helped out with that. Triple H has made this a global company, and it's just a fun thing to be into right now. Number two, you are going to have bad days. You are going to have days where your videos only get 100 to 200 views versus maybe somebody doing the same content may get thousands. What differentiates people who succeed and who don't succeed are the ways they handle the bad days. So make sure you're taking those bad days as a blessing and not as like, oh, people hate you and people are out against you and blah, blah, blah. Because trust me, I've had many of those days. Do not make excuses. Just take it as this is a loss today, but it's okay because tomorrow's going to be a win. Be open to self-improvement. That is the main thing I can tell you right now. You are not perfect when you first start at wrestling content creation. You will not be perfect when you are succeeding at content creation. Everybody has some kind of flaw that they can perfect on, and there's always room for improvement no matter what, especially in a changing society just like 2024. So use that fuel to just keep going. keep pushing with your content. Don't let anybody, any haters or trolls try to make you feel any less. You are doing fantastic. Just keep it up. The next thing is that editing will take up a lot of your life, especially if you make YouTube videos. TikTok is a little easier to make videos, especially on your mobile phone. But unfortunately with YouTube, you do have to take that time to edit, crop, add overlays, add music, and just do whatever you got to do. Just like I'm going to edit this video today, it just takes time. And please understand that you will have to take a little bit of time from things you may like to do to get these videos done. Unless you have money to hire an editor, which more power to you. Please also understand that it can take years to become an overnight sensation. It's easy to say that all these big streamers got famous overnight when they've been doing this for years, way longer than the average person. Most people try their content creation out for about a year and then they see nothing's going on about it and they just quit. But the ones that go longer and consistent for years and years and years, those are the ones that eventually will make it to overnight success. It is possible for people to become overnight sensations and celebrities, but like I said before, society has a very quick attention span with things that are overnight sensations. The people that really last a long time are the ones that were very consistent and hard work was done. And please understand that this craft takes time. You're not going to make like 2 videos, go viral once, and then all of a sudden you're well known forever. You got to keep putting, as Seamus says, banger after banger after banger. And eventually all of that content will grow into the hill that you are going to climb to make it to the top. People want success right away, but they do not want to put in the work that it takes to get there because they realize how long it takes and they have to just take care of life outside of that. And unfortunately, that takes away from the people that may have been potential successes, but they just moved on. And by the time everybody else is given up and you're the last one remaining, you're the one that's going to be known as the success. This is going to come off as a huge reality check, but you're going to realize very quickly that your internet community that you grow through your content and your live streams is going to support you much more than your IRL friends. Now, I'm not saying this is the case for everybody, but I've noticed that usually the IRL friends and the family, they usually tend to not notice your stuff, or they see your stuff but don't talk about it. They don't show love, they don't share. They're just kind of in the background, and they're probably going to come out only once you've made it to that big success. Thankfully, my immediate family is a huge support, whether it's my parents, my siblings, Mrs. JLD, her family, they all hugely support what we do, but that is not the case for everybody. And extended family usually just doesn't care. It's a shame, but don't let it bring you down. Just keep pushing. If you are doing this just for the money, just give up now. Do not do it. If you are trying to get into wrestling content, you need to be fully invested and absolutely love it. Even the biggest creators that make wrestling content, that is not their full paycheck. They also have jobs on the side, or they have full-time jobs like myself. And this is just a side thing. Only like the top 1 to 2% of content creators actually make a living just on content creation itself. And even if they do, this is their life. They are spending 12 hours, 13 hours a day on their computer making videos for you guys. And like I said before, you need to make sure you're having fun while doing this. Otherwise, it feels like a full-time job, and then you're really going to hate it if that's the case. And if you're miserable, why make the content? So you've heard the expectations, what's helped me, what has not helped me. Now, this is just advice for anybody that wants to get into the content creation space from me and my experiences. You have to be the biggest fan of your own content. If you don't love your content, why are you even doing it? No one's going to believe in your content if you don't. Don't half-ass your content. If you're going to make content, go all out and just be yourself. Open up your comfort zone a little bit, and just as time goes by, you'll realize you're better in your speech skills and more comfortable doing things on camera. You need to be fully invested in this. This is a full-time job for a lot of people, and if you want to make it there, you have to treat it like it's a full-time job, even though it's a side gig for most. Be consistent non-stop. You have to be consistent with your content. Otherwise, like I said, society has a very short attention span. They're going to forget about you in seconds. The household names in wrestling content creation got to where they are today because they kept making content every single day, even multiple times a day on multiple different platforms. If you see people are unfollowing you, first of all, take away those tools that show that people unfollowed you, because that is going to get to your head very quickly. Second, who cares if they unfollowed? They are going to come back when they see that you made it in life and you're very successful, and at that point it's too late for them. And if you don't see the stats that you want right away, it's okay. Things take time. You're not going to get 10,000 followers in a month. Now, if you want to bot and do all that stuff, just if that makes you feel any better, but just know it's not real engagement and it does not make you look good. Understand that for every person that unfollows you, there are 5 people that want to get to know your content. You have to be everywhere. Like I said before, there are people that come to me saying I'm everywhere on their For You page and their Explore and just everywhere. And if people are annoyed by that and feel like they have to unfollow you, then that's their loss, honestly. Keep doing what you're doing, and the way to be around everywhere is just keep posting everywhere. People enjoy that, they will come follow you. Believe in yourself and just be open to thinking outside the box with your wrestling ideas. I've been streaming on Twitch since May of 2021, and since then my skills on the mic and my skills in just making content have skyrocketed, and I feel like it's just based on being comfortable talking to you guys, whether it's live on Twitch or just making a video like this. I just feel very confident to doing that compared to what I was doing back then. So over time, you'll definitely feel more comfortable in yourself and use that as fuel to keep making content as you will. Even something as simple as hearing yourself. A lot of people don't like hearing their own voice, but once you're comfortable hearing your own voice, the sky's the limit. And listen, at the end of the day, even if you have haters, they are helping out with your engagement. They are helping you out in terms of monetization from views. Let them be there and don't get offended quickly. And finally, be okay with self-improvement, like I said before, because that is the only way you're going to become the overnight success after 5 years or 7 years or whatever time it takes to become a success in the wrestling or any kind of content creation space. It is okay to take constructive criticism from those that support you. What you're not going to do though is take the haters' criticism and use it as, oh, you suck as a creator, because that's what's going to make your downfall happen. And listen, I know that's a lot. If you have any questions, like I said before, make sure you put them down in the comments below and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. So you listen to all of this, you want to get into content creation skill, you know the expectations, you know what does and does not help. Once again, it is different for everybody, so understand that everybody's success is different. Some people it works for this, some people it works for that. Know that things may not work out just like everybody else. But now that you want to get into it, you need to monetize your content. Now, again, people don't make hundreds and thousands of dollars as soon as they start making wrestling content. You have to grow into that. You have to grow your community, and you have to take all of the things that I said earlier in this video and make your content as popular as possible so the monetization goes along with it. If you are trying to just get monetized just to make money, it is not going to work out. We live in a society now where it is very easy to make money online with many different types of things. And I'm not just talking about social media. And who wouldn't love getting paid to post videos on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all that? That's a lot of people's dream. So really quickly, I'm just going to go over the different platforms that you can get monetized on, and I'll even try to dabble in how you can get to that monetization status, because you don't get monetization right away. You have to prove yourself to these platforms before they give you that access. Essentially, YouTube's giving you their money, TikTok's giving you their money, or Instagram, etc. They're not just going to give it to anybody, and it definitely takes a lot of work. So please note that if you're going to be into the monetization, you want to get into wrestling content, you need to really be invested. Now for this, I don't have the full requirements for every single platform. You can do your own research, and if you have a favorite platform, you can look up their full way to get paid off of everything, but this is just a general idea of the places you can get paid at. So one of the big ones as of recent is TikTok. Now TikTok obviously has many different ways you can get paid. You can get paid through the TikTok creator program, you can get paid through subscriptions, you can get paid through live gifts that people can send you, you can get paid through the TikTok shop affiliate program. So there is a endless variety of things you get paid on. They even have some stuff for video games or even working directly with companies. So if you want to go live on TikTok, it is generally 1,000 followers that you need to get, which will allow you to get access to TikTok live, and people can send you gifts and all that good stuff. For the TikTok shop affiliate program, which allows you to sell products and get a commission off of them, you need at least 5,000 followers. And for the creator program, which is where you get paid based on the amount of views on minute-long videos, you need 10,000 followers as well as 100,000 views within the past 30 days. The more you get yourself monetized on TikTok and the more following and community you gain, the easier it is to get monetized on your videos, especially for people that react to live streams. For Instagram, it's a little more difficult to get monetized because of the options available to get paid, but generally they use what's called bonuses, where they randomly invite random content creators to post videos, and if they get a certain amount of views on them, they get paid somewhere from $50 to $100 or even more based on the ads that it generates. And on top of that, if you have 5,000 followers, you can get subscribers to subscribe to your Instagram, which is similar to like Patreon, where you can have specific posts for your subscribers and just get people to get to know you on a more personal level. Now for Twitch, Twitch is the most monetized platform that I have. That is where most of my community is alongside TikTok. If you want to get monetized on Twitch, you have to become a Twitch affiliate, which involves getting a 3 average viewership over the past week, stream a certain amount of times, as well as 50 followers. Now, if you grew a separate community such as TikTok and Instagram already, this may be a little easy as long as you promote it as much as you can on those platforms. So if you promote your Twitch on Instagram, let your community know, hey, we're going to go live on Twitch, we're going to get affiliate. So let everybody know that they need to pull up and help you out. But if you're starting from scratch, it may be a little more difficult. And the way you get monetized on Twitch is through subscriptions and through what's called bits. For bits, every 100 bits is $1. You can convert that. Just think of it as 1 bit is a penny. Or for subscriptions, it's $6 a subscription. You get half of that, which is $3. For Twitter or X, it's based on impressions. As long as you are verified and pay monthly for that blue check mark and you get a certain amount of impressions a month, you can get invited to get monetized, and you will get paid based on the amount of views that your Twitter posts get. And that includes on replies too. I'm not too familiar with Twitter or X, or whatever you call its monetization, so that's all I know about it. If you are trying to get into your YouTube channel, they have their partner program, which has 2 different tiers. For one of them, you have to get 3,000 watch hours on your long form content, and that will allow you to get subscriptions and products to sell from your merch store. All of that will be available. Or if you get 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, you will get ads on your videos, which will generate revenue. So the more views you get, the more money you will make from YouTube directly. While the first tier is more for your fans and your community to help you get monetized and get paid. If you have a podcast, you can try and get monetized on Spotify. Now, I don't know the exact requirements for Spotify to get paid based on views, but if you have a podcast ready, I think it's just get a certain amount of people to watch it over the past 60 days and you will get paid. If you have merchandise, I recommend either using Stream Elements or Fourth Wall. Stream Elements integrates with Twitch very nicely, as well as Fourth Wall does too. But Fourth Wall is a free storefront. You can use your custom domain if you'd like, just like I do, justlayingdown.com, and you can make all of the different merch, t-shirts and jackets and stuff that you can have your community check out and buy. You can get affiliate links if you are sponsored or have partnerships or affiliate ships with other companies. Promote your affiliate links. I'm a WWE shop affiliate, so I try to promote my affiliate link whenever new stuff drops on the WWE shop. That way, when they buy things with my link, we get a commission off of it. And finally, if you want to let your community know if they want to donate directly to you without having to go through a specific platform, let them know about your Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, etc. So that way they know that all of their money is going towards you if they really want to support you. And that's basically monetization. If you have any questions, again, put them down in the comments. But that's basically everything that you guys should know, how I got into content creation and what would help you guys out if you want to take that next step as well. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way you get some of the best wrestling content out there. I appreciate you watching this video. Take care, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.